Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another match reaction. And what a victory for Barcelona, guys. Barcelona beat Sevilla 4-1, in which was a absolutely must-win game for us. As yesterday, both Madrid teams, they dropped point in the Madrid derby. It was a 1-1 draw for both teams, and thus Barcelona, they had the perfect opportunity to clinch back some points and reduce that Liga title race deficit that we did face. And when we look at the La Liga table, guys, which I have shown, you can currently see that Barcelona right now, they are only 1 point behind Atletico Madrid and 2 points from Real Madrid. And this means that Barcelona, if they win all of their games remaining, they will win La Liga. The power to win La Liga is back on our hands. And for tonight's matchup, guys, in which we talk about the overall team's performance, which I would say in the first half, it wasn't too brilliant from Barcelona. We did start off well, but it wasn't, the performance that we would have liked. But in the second half, Barcelona, they ramped up the performances, and they did manage to score 3 goals that gave us the lead and the winner as well. And for the lineup that Hansi Flick, he did opt to go for, he had Szczesny in goal, Balde, Inigo Martinez, and Ron Araujo, who unfortunately he did have to go after the 22nd minute mark due to an injury. We're going to be talking about that. Jos Koundé partnered up alongside Ron Araujo. In the midfield, you had De Jong and Pedri. And up top, you had Raphinha, Gavi, Lamine Yamal, and Lewandowski. And overall, guys, as I said, Barcelona, they went from less to more. They improved as the game went on. And we're going to be talking about everything from the game. But NJ, good to see you. Good to talk to you. NJ, how did you feel about Barcelona's overall match performance? How did you feel from tonight?
I mean, the game was good, to be honest, because the second half, because the second half, but in the beginning it was so bad, it was so annoying. It was like it was too funny, nothing was happening. It was too static and everything. Then second half, that's when everything changed. Yeah, but
Okay.
overall the game was entertaining. Not gonna lie.
The game for a neutral was entertaining, especially in that second half, because in the second half you saw goals. You saw, for example, a red card from Fermín López, who did come on as well,
Yeah,
and you saw some penalty shouts. You saw some red card shouts. And for a neutral, it was really exciting. The first half it was a little bit boring, I would say, because Sevilla, they were defending really deep, making it very hard for Barcelona to create chances. They were defending in one block of 4, then another bank of 5, basically, and they just made it really hard to create. But what is up, Sam? Welcome to the stream. He says, do you think it was a penalty for Sevilla? For me, it is, to be honest, but we've been robbed a few times, so I'd take this. He says, Sevilla are crap, but huge credit to Flick for keeping the team together after we were down to 10 men.
which one's the 10?
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure he's talking about this action right here. Now, guys, this was
No,
in the second
that's not a
half.
10, bro. What do you mean?
I personally don't think that this is a penalty either.
Almost not a penalty.
I see the player already diving. Jos
It
Koundé,
wasn't.
even though he has like a hand to it, he's
But it
already
was too it's too light, but it was too soft on that part.
no. But even then, like he's falling. He's just looking for the
Yeah, that
contact.
also. Yeah.
He's
Even if
just
you
looking
use
for the contact.
even if he used the hand as a reason, it wasn't like he pushed him like super hard. I don't even so he was only flying already, so it wasn't really a pen.
But Barcelona, the guys, we actually start off with a really good chance right here from Lamine Yamal. A fantastic ball from Pedri, but he is denied by the Sevilla keeper, and it was a really good save, to be honest. Lamine Yamal, he had
Yeah.
another chance like this in the second half, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to get the same contact that he did have in this first occasion. He was able to angle it to the left hand corner, but unfortunately, the keeper, he has a really good save, and then following up a couple minutes later, you have Robert Lewandowski scoring a fantastic goal. It was, I would say, a scrappy goal, but it was fantastic because of what the occasion was calling for. Barcelona had so much pressure to go into this game and win, and he was at the right place at the right time. Inigo Martinez basically with the assist. I don't know if they actually credit. Yeah, they actually do give him the assist for that goal.
Yeah.
But he was able to header the ball into Lewandowski's direction, and then Lewandowski easy tap in, and Barcelona lead
But
1-0.
overall, though, when you look at it, like, yes, Lewandowski did his goal, but overall he didn't have a good game. When you look at it.
No, no, I agree. Lewandowski, for example, right now his game is just getting on the score sheet. I think
Yeah.
it's simply that if Robert Lewandowski he gets on the score sheet and he is able to score goals, then he's had a good game. Because if not, then he's not, for example, at prime Lewandowski, where you could say, hey, he can create much more. He can facilitate his teammates. I would say that, for example, if he doesn't get on the score sheet, you do see some weaknesses in his game. But guys, right after Robert Lewandowski scored that goal, not even just like 30 seconds later, Sevilla equalized. They
That's funny.
had, uh, we were talking about it, but Sevilla they have this chance right here. Ron Rajo keeps Saul onside. Sevilla after kickoff able to beat Barcelona's high line, and they were just able to just completely catch us off guard. And when you look at how the defense is structured, it
It
wasn't
was
good
way
positioning
off.
from us.
Everything was off. Like even Kunde was off as well.
And there were some controversy on whether that was actually onside or offside, because when you look at the closer images, guys, right here, you can see, for example, from this image that Saul is in an offside position, but then VAR gives you this angle and says that he is, onside. He is onside,
Yeah,
but
no. Overall, he was onside either way. Because when you look at Arau, where Arau was positioning, Saul was onside. To be honest.
and then you also see, for example, this image. When they draw the lines, they see that Saul is offside and not onside. But I'm not gonna go into too much because
I mean,
Barcelona they get the
it's part
victory
of
and
the game.
everything.
It's part of the
Yeah.
game.
Uh huh.
I mean, you can disagree argue all you want, but again, that's what makes the game nice. Because again, because all the dumb stuff's happening. But again, no one's perfect. And also it depends on the referee. How do you see the game as well, right? Not every all the referees are the same when they
No,
view a
no,
foul or the offside.
no. I mean, the offside you can't really interpret that. I just think it's
Yeah,
simple, like saying like, hey, did the referees make a mistake in drawing the line? Yes or no? I'm gonna trust the referees. I'm gonna say, hey, you know what? The image that VAR gives me is the correct one. I'm not
yeah,
gonna criticize
exactly.
them
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much.
You can't.
But Barcelona, with Ron Rajo in that back line, I don't know if it gives me that much confidence.
He still needs time, bro, to learn the back line. Because again, for me, like, let's say, yeah, sure, you can say like Arau's the best defender we have, but when you look at how we play, he's below Eric Garcia when it comes to like outside trapping. To be honest, when you look at it,
I think that's something that he needs to work on,
yeah,
and I think that's going to come with time.
yeah,
And
it will come to time, but right now he still has to learn. He has to still need to, again, remember, he doesn't play this kind of football. He still has to learn, just like how Chesney was has to learn how to become a super keeper, right? So it will need a couple more games to understand how to like trap the outside.
absolutely, Sam is just basically saying what we were feeling and what we were talking about. He says Araujo doesn't suit Flick's system. He has a lot to learn. Absolutely, he has to adapt to the high line.
I
Araujo, a
mean, he has
player
to
who,
learn as soon as possible because again,
yeah,
if he's gonna stay here for a longer time, remember, Flick has 2 years in his contract. Let's say he has to learn how to like do the outside
yeah.
trap as soon as possible.
100%. And continuing talking about Ron Rajo, guys, unfortunately, he did have to come off in the 22nd minute mark after twisting his ankle in a clash with Saul. And you do see him come off. And fortunately, it doesn't seem anything too serious. It's just like a sprained
But
ankle. It wasn't.
yeah, true. Yeah, just a normal
Uh-huh.
sprain ankle. How
Uh-huh. It was a sprained ankle. You see him putting some ice there to reduce the swelling and everything. And hopefully it isn't too serious. It isn't too serious, and we don't see him basically out for a big period of time. But that was the first half. Barcelona they go into the half 1-1. Barcelona at times struggling to create some dangerous chances. Sevilla trying to hit Barcelona on the counter, expose that space that they were able to find in behind the Barcelona defenders. They even had this chance right here in which Chesney, fortunately, is able to briefly touch the ball before
yeah,
Isak,
exactly. Yeah.
and is able to snuff out any Barcelona danger. And Sevilla, they were knocking into the half, but Barcelona in the second half, Hansi Flick looking at how we struggled to create chances. He made some substitutions. He brought on Fermín López, which was absolutely brilliant, and his first touch leads to a goal. It was
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. Fermín López is gifted a brilliant ball from Pedri, and we're going to be talking about him because he was absolutely phenomenal. But this ball from Pedri, world class, into Fermín López, and a header inside the net, and Barcelona lead 2-1. Absolutely fantastic work. And unfortunately, right after Sevilla, they do score, but it was thankfully ruled offside right here. Vargas is in an offside position, and then we talk about the controversial action in regards to Fermín López, because right here Fermín López, he has this I would say action, and he is sent off, straight red card. Now, NJ, I want to know your opinions on this action right here. Do you think that this is a red card?
Yeah, it was because the way the intention was, to be honest, he hit the guy's knee though. That's normally at least a yellow, at least minimum, normally.
Okay.
Like you can disagree. I know that I know that you didn't use the Valencia game, but again, the difference was between this is that the guy from Valencia, he was already in a sliding tackle motion already. He could control that on Pedri. But this one, he Fermin already knew that the guy was gonna go for the ball, and he still went and hit the guy. So that was the two difference. That's why this one makes sense that it was a red one against compared to Valencia, which he should have been just a yellow, but this one, yeah, it has to be a red. To be
Okay.
honest.
Sam says that was a little harsh, bro. You can see he touches the ball first, but I
Yes,
can't
yes, that's true.
argue
But
it's
that's
a
true.
red.
That's true. He touched the
Richard
ball
says
first.
Richard said, yes, it was 100% a red card. Let's be objective. Now, guys, I'm perfectly fine with you sending off Fermín López for this action. Like, if you want to send him off, that's perfectly fine. Fermín López, he goes, it's a really reckless challenge. I would
Yeah.
say he does get the ball first, but it was reckless. But at the same time, guys, the challenge against Valencia was reckless. Studs up above the ankle. And even this challenge yesterday against Barrios from Ceballos in the Real Madrid, you see Ceballos, not even, for example, in
Yeah,
a
that one
sliding tackle,
that one
just
should be a
goes
yellow. At least a yellow at least.
minimum.
Yeah.
It's what I'm angry about is the consistency from the referees. If you want to send Fermín López off for getting the ball first and then having the follow through, hit the player, okay, fine. Okay, it's reckless.
Yeah,
I
but
agree.
remember, but you have to understand every referee is different when they view the game. That's
No,
something
but
you have
but
to
but NJ,
understand.
that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be that one referee, allows things to happen, and
It wasn't.
there isn't
Yeah, you're
there
right.
isn't
But
like a
again, but
standard.
again, the upper board said, they gave the referee authority, saying like, if you see if the player's intention was dirty, then you give him red card or yellow. That's how they gave them authority. It's not because of not because of this one referee said, oh, you give him yellow, or you should give the other yellow to the other guy. No, it depends of how you see it. That's what they gave him the authority.
Okay,
Right.
okay, I completely agree, but that can harm teams, for example,
Yes,
because let's
you're
say
right.
one
You're right.
referee, against Barcelona, he views a tackle as a red card, damages us, but in the next game, different referee, same action, and we don't get things called in our favor.
You can't rely on other teams for getting it, 'cause it's a different way of coaching. The way different of seeing the game for them.
I,
Supposedly,
I,
you have to
I,
understand
I
that.
no, of course, I completely understand that. I just think that's not how it should be, and I think that's
I
absolutely
mean,
ridiculous.
it's been like that though for a long time, so
Yeah, yeah,
it's not gonna change.
yeah. Uh-huh. Who's the player of the match? The MVP? The MVP was Pedri, which we are going to talk about because
I agree.
Pedri.
It's Pedri. It's Pedri, to be honest. I agree. It has to be Pedri in the game. I mean, De Jong did good as well, but it was more Pedri that stayed our ass in the whole game.
He was absolutely fantastic on the night. Pedri, he
Yeah.
was just absolutely everywhere, just so good defensively. But as well, not only being great defensively, but he was, just covering so much space. And when we look at his, for example, his stats and everything, let me pull it up right here. Oh wait, hold, give me a
Yeah,
second.
him and De Jong were like were like linked in very well together in the midfield when they were doing
Well, I'm
both.
having trouble just to show it, but
Yeah,
these are the stats from Pedri. He had an 86% passing accuracy, 5 key passes, 3 out of long balls completed, 6 spins, 3 out of 8 ground duels won,
spins.
and
The
yeah, I
heck?
know. I see that. I'm thinking, what the spins have to do with it? But
Is that even a why do you keep adding random stats on every year in the game, bro? Like, come on, just say
yeah,
just like long ball. Long ball makes sense because but again,
uh-huh.
spins. Come on, bro.
Created the most chances in the match. And NJ, what were your thoughts on Pedri's performance?
Yeah, it's great. Like obviously, he was the main source of our offense. And like he was the one making it easy. But also that he had De Jong with him as well. Helping him out as well. So overall, Pedri was the man of the match for sure. He deserved it. He made it easy for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Again, here's the thing though with Gavi. Yeah, he made it slow for both Gavi. He made it slow for Pedri and De Jong in the first half. You saw it too, right?
who are you talking about?
Gavi.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't a good game from Gavi.
Yeah.
Sam, as you said it wasn't a game that was suited for Gavi.
Yeah.
Fermin or Olmo, they're much
Yeah.
better suited in those tight spaces. And even then, Fermin Lopez, a player who is a box crasher, who makes runs
Yes.
in behind, it was a game much more suited for these type
Yeah.
of players.
Exactly.
And Hansi Flick, he understood that. He understood
Yeah.
that. He said, "Hey, let me make some substitutions and let me change the profiles of my players." And he read the game brilliantly. His
To be
man
honest
management
though,
was amazing.
earlier, he should have started Fermin in the beginning, to be honest,
Yeah,
and brought
yeah.
in Danny Olmo in the second half.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
The moment I
I
saw, because the reason why I say that, because the moment I saw the lineup, I'm like, yeah, Lewandowski, I mean, it's not gonna work. It's not
no.
gonna work. It's too static in the front when they're together.
I think it was also a matter of him bringing in Gavi just to add some, I would say, solidity to that midfield. Because when you have Pedri and Frankie de Jong, it's not really too safe in that
Yes,
midfield.
it makes sense. But again, imagine Fermin can do that too as well. That job kind of job as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But yeah, but when you look at when you have you always need a extra creator in the of the team midfielders when you look at it. But Gavi doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying Gavi can't create. He can create, but majority of the time he's just there to like stop the opponents, playing. To be honest.
But one player who we did not talk about, guys, was Raphinha. Because Raphinha, he also had a very, very good game.
Yeah, yeah,
He scored the third, which was an absolute fantastic goal.
yeah,
Beating who was it? Who was it? I think it was Bade. Yeah, he beat Bade, and then he
yeah,
was able to get a fantastic shot into the bottom left hand corner. It was a brilliant goal from
yeah, for sure.
Raphinha.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a great goal.
It was a
I'm
great
telling you
goal.
right now, bro. Like Raphinha might win Ballon d'Or because telling you they will not give it to Mo Salah no matter how good Mo Salah if he wins all the trophies this year. I'm telling you, he's not because they're not gonna allow someone from the Middle East to win it because
Wow.
because the last time that someone won outside of Europe or South America was George Weah, who's an African guy, right? That's like in the 90s. That was a lot, but ever since it was a Argentinian, uh, a Brazilian, or a European that won it. They will never give it to Mo Salah, to be honest.
No,
They will
well,
never give it.
it would be huge for Mohamed Salah
Yeah,
and Africa if he is able to win the Ballon d'Or. But Rafinha, he is making a very good show because when
I
you
mean,
look at this,
yeah,
when you look at his stats, when you look at, for example, this amazing pass in which he basically sets up Eric Garcia for an easy goal. Rafinha right now is playing at an absolute fantastic level. Right
yeah.
here, as he says it, Raphinha, Salah, and Lewandowski, top three. Raphinha, best Brazilian in the world. His stats are showing it. He is showing up in key games for Barcelona, and he's just on another level right now. Absolutely amazing, and he's showing up when Barcelona they need it. Absolutely fantastic work from
I feel like I don't
Raphinha.
mind him being the main. I don't mind buying a left winger as a backup, but it doesn't have to be like a world class winger. As long as it, bring a second impact left winger will be good. Because it seems like Rafinha will be the main left winger moving forward for us. Seems like it.
See. That's where I disagree with you. I still feel that Barcelona they do need a starter for that left wing because we know that Danny Olmo, for example, at times he has
No,
those small knocks.
no.
He has
So
those
I'm saying,
knocks.
we still have to buy a winger, left wing for sure. I said, but it doesn't have to be like an 80 million winger. I said what I meant.
It's just, so you're going for example like a backup left winger. Yeah, no, I mean
Basically,
I understand that. I'd be
yeah,
perfectly fine with that as well. But I'd want a
That's what I meant. Because
superstar
again,
left
he's not.
winger.
Because again, Raphinha right wing doesn't work, though. You know that it doesn't work. Right wing Raphinha doesn't work at all. It's
No,
he,
no, but for example, like I'm saying, we need a world class winger because we need someone who's great on the 1v1. Because when we
yeah,
look at Rafinha, he's not necessarily playing out on the left. He is running centrally. You saw him
yeah.
very
But again, when you
centrally
look
at
at yeah,
times.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but again, when you look at but if you're talking about a winger, you're not gonna bench Raphinha though if he's on form, are you?
No, no, you just play Rafinha centrally.
Yeah, but then who you gonna bench? What Daniel Mo and
Yeah,
Fermin?
you bench Dani Olmo.
And
You
Fermin. Why not? We need a number 10 that creates a lot, which is Daniel
no,
Mo.
I mean this is simple. You have players that you play for certain matches. Just simple as that. For
Yeah.
example, I'm not like Gabi's absolutely fantastic. He's brilliant, but this type of game isn't suited for him. And so what do I do?
I'm not talking
Gabi,
about
you're
Gabi.
benched.
I'm not talking about Gabi. I'm not talking
No,
about Gabi at all.
no, NJ, I know you're not talking about Gavi. I'm just talking about the circumstance.
Yeah.
I'd want a world class left winger because we need a player who's great in the 1v1 in that left wing and who can start. A backup winger for me, I would say would be very good, but I want that extra bit of quality. I want that extra bit of quality because Rafinha, he can play in that 10, he can play essentially, he can play on both flanks as well. Just I want more options in that front
Yeah,
line.
sure, yeah. But again, the question: are you willing to spend 100 mil for a winger though?
100 mil, that's where we can have an argument. Do you say, hey, is a player actually worth that?
Yeah,
That's
but
where
again,
I could say,
yeah, correct. Like say we know the guys are worth 100 mil, but if the market is right, you know that.
no. Well,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay,
I
yeah, yeah, okay. Let's
mm-hmm.
move forward now from the topic. Okay,
Yeah, no,
moving
okay,
on.
okay.
Okay,
Um,
what do you
right here,
think?
the chat is saying,
Yeah.
I think they're going to try for Nico Williams again since we were back to 1-1. Van Lee says I would take Doku on a season long
Nah,
loan,
too much
or we could
FIFA,
get
bro. You playing too much
Rashford.
FIFA, bro. You're
Okay.
playing too much
Well,
FIFA, bro. Playing
play
too
too
much
much
FIFA.
FIFA. Well, right now I'm just naming the options, and then we can have a conversation about
Yeah.
that. Richard says spot on. It's about playing the player that fits against our opponents. Van Lee says Leao dream is dead. He fired Jorge Mendes and Luis Diaz, looking old and washed.
I have
So right
nothing.
now we know the options. We know it's Luis Diaz, Doku, Rashford, Nico Williams, and who else? Am I missing one?
Nico
Doku.
Williams?
Doku.
Said?
I said Nico Williams, but regardless of
Rashford.
that, for Rashford, did I say that? Well, regardless, it's like 5 to 6 wingers. All of those wingers, there isn't a unanimous decision on who Barcelona should go for, because Leao inconsistency too expensive. Nico Williams, he's having a bad season, and you're thinking, are we gonna get the Nico Williams that we got, in the summer? I don't know. And
Okay,
Barcelona board.
okay, yeah, my bad for sorry to interrupt. Yeah, Van Lee, bro. Doko is shit, bro. There's a reason why Pep doesn't trust him, bro. There's a reason why he doesn't play him. He doesn't trust him. He's too one man. He's like Dembele, bro. Like they one trick pony, bro. If you watch properly. For me, yes, Nico's the most weird this year. Even if he had a bad season this season, but again, we knew. But I knew that the run that he had last year to the Euros was just a one-time thing. Because again, he plays different football. But I feel like under Flick, he play good, to be honest.
Okay.
But again,
60
again,
mil.
Burnley though. Again, Burnley. Sell Frankie, but who you gonna replace Frankie though? Because again, if you sell Frankie, we're buying a midfielder. We know this.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, let's not deviate like too far like from the conversation. We can have this
You're
conversation
stupid,
again and
Burnley, man.
again. We know that Barcelona, they're going to need a left winger in the summer, and this is something we've talked about on the channel. But overall in the game, guys, it was absolutely huge from Barcelona as well. Because something that we haven't talked about yet in the match reaction is the reaction from us after that Fermín López red card. Because when Barcelona, they were defending and when they were down to 10 men, at no point did was I worried, for example, or me anxious saying, "Oh my God, Sevilla, they're going to pile on the pressure. Barcelona, we're not going to be able to close out the game." Barcelona mentally and as well strategically, with those changes that Hansi Flick implemented, which was brilliant man management, he managed to set up Barcelona in a way that was set up to weather the storm and everything. But NJ, what did you make of Barcelona in those last 20 to 30 minutes?
Based on, it was a good substitution from Frankie from Hansi Flick. Bringing Eric Garcia and the midfield. Like him and Daniel would change the flow for the game. To be honest, in the late game, like it was more because of that what Daniel would bring. It made more sense, like more space. It was more fluid than for us. Like and what do you call this? And because of that, we were able to find more chances on scoring goals or bringing more threat in the final third. Fair enough. No, no, for Dani Olmo for coming in, for helping us. Eric Garcia, we know that he's not a full-time starter, but when he
Mm-hmm.
calls on the right time, he will deliver, which he did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure, 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 sure. It's an open header, so what? He did his job of scoring.
Absolutely, absolutely. He did a very good job right here in getting into the right position. He shored up
Yeah.
that midfield when he was called up on after we had that red card. And the last question I want to ask you, NJ, before we end off the match reaction, is in regards to Frankie De Jong and Marc Casado. Because Sam asked, has Frankie De Jong replaced Marc Casado in Hansi Flick's best 11? Now, I'm gonna give my opinion on this, and then you can give it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Me personally, I don't know. I don't know. I still view Marc Casado a starter in those big games, for example, because we are going to be asked to defend a lot and having to be very solid in that midfield. Now, has Frankie De Jong reached a level that has surpassed his Marc Casado? I don't know. I still need to see a little bit more from Frankie to be able to say, hey, yeah, he's my starter ahead of Marc Casado. But Frankie De Jong, he's been performing really well in these past couple of weeks. NJ, well, what do you think?
I agree on what you said in the first part, where like when the big games matters the most, we need Casado for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that with Frankie, I told you guys before this during the game when he came back. I'm like, yo, don't expect too much from him because he just came back from injury when if he plays poorly, and you guys were, which is fair enough. You guys criticize him, but again, I told you many times, he just came from injury. You just didn't want to listen. But again, now you see, if Frankie is healthy, well, he just brings too much more than Casado to us. Because with Casado, as a great player he is, sometimes he needs to like guess, second guess, like where to pass the ball. Sometimes with Frankie, he just knows where to pass the ball right away at all. Like I understand people will use the money's salary as an excuse, but again, when you look at Frankie like deeply, when if you know his game, you know what he can bring as a holding midfielder, where like he will just slow tempo the game for you. He knows what he can bring for you guys. But again, you play Frankie if you have the right midfielders with him. You do not play Frankie if you don't have the right midfield beside him. Simple as that.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're going to be seeing in the first leg in the Champions League knockouts, where we're
Yeah.
going to be able to see, hey, who does Hansi Flick want to start in that midfield?
I
Because
mean,
I'm more of the sentiment of Richard here that Frankie De Jong great against these type of teams, but against those big top tier teams, he doesn't really show the same level. But
yeah, and
has
that's
Frankie De Jong
fine.
been able to change? My opinion. We're gonna have to see his performances in those
Yeah, and
games.
that's fine though, because again, it's good for Frankie to play right now in order to get that momentum back. So that during the big games, when if Marcus doesn't perform, you can bring Frankie De Jong in the bench.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Like again, it's not a toxic competition. It's more of like bringing everybody on form to make sure that when if one it, and let's say if Frankie started right in the first game on in the Champions League, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't perform in the second half, you can bring Casado.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You just
Yeah.
have the. It's not a competition where it's toxic. It's more of like, yo, I need. we both knew this, right? That we bring players every game. It depends of the game. You know how the game's played. That's where you bring the players correctly.
Okay.
Which
Mm.
today, right? We said that Gavi wasn't the right choice.
Okay. Yeah.
Stuff like that. You know,
No, no,
like
I,
it's not.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be having more discussions in regards to that. But at the end of the day, Barcelona right here, the most important thing is that we get the 3 points because
Yes.
we have the power back to win La Liga
Yeah.
in our hands. If we win
Three
all of our
points.
games,
3 points, and as long as the players or the backups, the starters are doing good, like getting the momentum, then we should be able to cruise in.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But guys, it was a huge moment for Barcelona right here. As I said before, we were put under pressure to win the match, and Barcelona able to do just that. We get the 3 points, and we put pressure on Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, 1 and 2
Oh, wait.
points
Sorry to
behind
interrupt, though.
respectively. Yeah.
What did you think of Chesney today, though, as a goalkeeper today?
Chesney, he was solid. He was
Yeah.
absolutely rock solid. In the few chances in which he was called to action, he showed up tremendously well,
Yes.
able to snuff out the danger, and he just gives confidence. And right now, 9 games played, 9 wins.
Yeah.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. And right there, I just
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah. He
didn't
smokes too
smoke
much.
today. That's why he
He
played
smokes
well.
too much. But again, but again, he's a goalkeeper anyway, so he can smoke all he wants because he
Uh
doesn't
huh.
really run that much.
But you're seeing Chesney gain
Yeah.
more confidence, gain more rhythm, and we're going to be seeing the best of Chesney in the next upcoming weeks, and I'm
Yeah.
really
He
really
will be
happy
big for
about
us, though,
that.
for sure. He's big
I
for sure for us.
absolutely. I feel bad for Iñaki Peña, but that's
But
competitive football.
yeah,
It is what
but
it is.
again, he did his part in the first half of the season, which
Uh huh.
we give respect for him because he gave us a lot of points and wins. But this is a real football now where we
Absolutely,
have to
absolutely.
deliver, and like every margin of errors, like, it's gonna cost
Mm-hmm.
us now.
Uh huh. True. But
Yeah.
guys, that was it for the match reaction. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy. Let me know down below your guys' thoughts about the game. Who was your man of the match? My man of the match was just simply Pedri. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts about the match as well. And as always, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.